result, and we did see for Sweden, Sandra Andersson, unfortunately took a bit of a tumble and had some trouble with the spare shooting along the way. That was actually key in the whole thing. Tonight, not a lot of spares being thrown here. A lot of strikes so far early in this game.
Well, the girls are doing wonderfully well. The ladies like Guatemala, of course. You can see the scores on the screen. But Matt, obviously you guys, you bowlers, are amazing at your maths. You'll see that, of course, anybody who hasn't bowled before, the strikes formed by an X on the scorecard. A spare missed there, slightly missed there. But we'll get up to the latest scores in a moment. Matt, is it a really complex way to score with bowling and all the spares and the strikes? And as we're looking at here, we see the strike and the spares patterns on the scoreboard.
Well, as a lifetime bowler, it's kind of second nature, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of see, you know what's going on. You know, looking at Guatemala now, maximum score is 290. It's just bowling math, and it's just something that you pick up along the way. And, World Bowling and IBF and the folks have tried over the years to come up with different variations to make it maybe a little more understandable, and all of those things. It's all good research.
It's all about that. So, as I said, you're joining us for the heart of Expo 2020 Dubai. We are in the Sports, Fitness and Wellness Hub, which has been home to some of the world's greatest sports stars already yesterday and over the weekend here in Dubai. As another strike goes down from Guatemala, superb shot there. We've had Usain Bolt, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo, we've got Lionel Messi, all to come here at Expo 2020 over the next coming weeks. But at the moment, the best in the world are here for bowling. These teams are from all over the planet. And as we see here, Colombia and Guatemala fighting it out for a place in the final. Not biting as much there. Matt, tell me a little bit about why what we saw there and how we missed out on the 10-pin there.
Again, you can throw a great shot, a perfect shot. You can throw the same shot 2 or 3 times in a row and get a different result. That's bowling.
So tell us a little bit about Team USA, Matt. Of course, we didn't see any of your team members in the men's singles finals and, of course, the pairs last night. How's the mood in the Team USA camp?
Motivated, I think that's the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Coming out of the gates a little bit slow, but learning along the way, collecting information, watching last night, seeing how things transitioned, and that single pins last night were key. Came in big time.
We saw a lot of those missed, didn't we, last night, those single pins, as we just saw there?
Definitely uncharacteristic at this level, but again, the elements that we are working with here, you saw the humidity, you mentioned it earlier, and just the stage, the venue, the nerves. It happens, right?
Of course it does, yeah.
But Team USA very motivated and getting stronger as the week goes on. Made it to the medal round in doubles last night for the men. Back at it tonight in trios, and a great break there for Sofia. But I think as you see more players come into this mix, it's going to get louder and more exciting, and that is what team bowling is absolutely the pinnacle.
Well, we've got a great setup, lineup for you tonight here on the show, and of course, just to give you a heads up of how you can watch us, strikecloud.com. Of course, if you obviously listening to this broadcast another way, strikecloud.com, or you can go to the Strike Cloud app. Well, by the way, there's a great way to watch this fabulous bowling competition, and you can watch it via the Strike Cloud 360 app. So if you go to your app stores, download Strike Cloud 360. This has been brought to you by YBVR, the best virtual reality company in the world. Now, they have created a virtual, three-dimensional version of what you're seeing. So basically, it's live action. You control the cameras, in 360 view. It's totally free, fully immersive experience. Download Strike Cloud 360, and you could be here in Dubai, quite literally, via the app on your phone. And it's something that myself and AJ Johnson were using last night. And talking of AJ, Matt, he's going to be coming up a little bit later on, isn't he?
Absolutely, and he was here watching his teammates last night.
Yep.
Saw the anguish, the disappointment, and they're going to pull together. That's what they do. He's looking forward to being on the other side of the whole situation tonight. They're over there. They're getting ready right now.
Good lad, indeed. So looking at the scores there, Matt, what are we looking at here? Guatemala versus Colombia in the first of the ladies' semi-finals for the trios tonight. Who's ahead in your mind, looking at what we see here?
Just the pair opens there for Colombia, unfortunately, and then the string of strikes by Guatemala. Guatemala ahead by quite a bit here. If they can stay clean, and of course, just like last night, right? You say it, as soon as you mention it,
This is it, the commentator's curse again. Well, AJ and I were very good at that last night here in the comms booth, but it's a great way to watch the bowling with some of the world's best bowlers. Now, what you're looking at, of course, is behind the scenes. Well, not behind the scenes, just where the bowlers are stepping up ready to bowl, just prepping, and of course, we've seen Team Colombia needing to keep the pressure up on Guatemala. This has to be a very high score indeed. Let's see what we have. And again, leaving 2 pins up. Should be a fairly relative spare, easy spare.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. I shall refrain from that as I look for that. But yes, crowd here tonight, and it generally fills up as the evening goes on here in Dubai. We've got an action-packed, as I said, evening set out for you, and a great theme, of course, of outdoor bowling. Of course, the IBF World Championships in the heart of Expo 20 Dubai. So, Colombia. Looking for that. There we go. I didn't curse it too much that time, Matt. Thank goodness for that. I see you've got the app up on your computer. Looking good there. Looking good, having a little bit of a play. Now, if you want to watch what we're seeing here in actually probably in a more immersive way than I can see, because I have monitors around me and I have cameras all around us, but we don't see the things that you can see. And that is available via that Strike Cloud 360 app. So get to your app store, whether it's Android or Apple, and it's all free to enjoy tonight.
The uncooperative 7-pin there, but again, Guatemala out to quite the advantage here, and the frames are winding down, so they're looking to be in pretty good shape here.
Yep.
Already over 200, and the max score for Colombia 225. So again, never say what. You know, we saw some unfortunate situations last night, some that almost got away and some that did for mistakes, but just stay clean and you're good here.
We've seen a little issue with that 7-pin on a lot of the matches that we've had here. Now, AJ was explaining to me last night that these are new pins that we're using, so they haven't got as much as a rounded base bottom to them as they would do if they'd be more seasonally worn in. So tends to be, in your opinion, is that the kind of same sort of feeling you think?
Generally, newer pins tend to be a little bit harder to knock down, and as they get some time on them and some games, they tumble a little bit easier.
They tumble a little bit easier indeed. So as we're coming to the climax of the first ladies semi-final in the trios gold medal round, of course, and slight little miss out there on this one, as we're going to have a quick look at that fabulous view from our team here at Expo 2020 Dubai. Now, techniques. We talked about this again with all of the guys that have been in the commentary booth with me the last few days. Who would you say, and again, it's probably a bit hard to say at the moment, has got the most smooth technique? I mean, do you look for smoothness? Do you look for power? Do you look for grace? Or is it all a mixture of everything coming together, Matt?
I think that's what makes our sport so great, is that you can be unique on one side of the foul line. Once you let go of the ball, the results and the situation is pretty similar. And on the ladies' side, you're going to see everybody more traditional and more similar than on the guys' side, where you get a little bit of everything.
Now, last night we saw a lot, actually, and very powerful for the Lithuanian bowlers last night. The two-handed bowlers coming into the fore and performing strike after strike after strike. Do we see a lot of two-hand bowlers, or as many two-handed bowlers with the ladies?
There's very few on the ladies' side. It just hasn't taken off yet. There's some in some of the countries and up-and-comers, but for the most part, it's a rarity for sure.
Yeah. So the action is hotting up, and just to remind you, the order of play tonight here in Dubai. This is the first of the ladies' semi-finals in the trios, Guatemala versus Colombia. Coming up after this one, we have Korea taking on Singapore. Then we're going to be moving on to the men's semi-finals. The first game in that will be Sweden versus the Czech Republic. And then, if we can keep Matt from being a little bit biased, we have Korea versus USA as the fourth of the semi-finals tonight.
So this one is mathematically over at this point. They're going to close it out, but 222 with the opening in the 10th for Guatemala, and the best Colombia can do is 199. So Guatemala going to move on.
So Guatemala have made it to the final tonight with a powerful bowling display, and of course that sees them in good stead for the final tonight. Now, this is the question for a novice, from a novice, Matt. I was going to ask you, why do you carry on if you have lost the match? Is it just a case to keep going because that's it? I mean, it's kind of...
Honestly, that's a question. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes when TV time comes into it, and we've seen it, but you know, stats-wise,
could you stop if you wanted to? Was kind of my thought point, because you go like, listen, guys, we can't beat that score. What's the point? You know.
I mean, tradition-wise, and you know, to chronicle the history of the event, of course, you want to close it out and have a final score, and that's really it.
Okay.
At that point, but your theory is pretty correct.
I suppose you're right. Actually, if you want to get like in a soccer or American football game, you need another score to put on there that is complete. Well, there you have it. Guatemala are now through to the ladies trio finals of the Dubai 2021 IBF World Championships, and a great result there. 222 playing 189. That's the final score. So they will go into the final tonight.